You swap over there?
It's up to you. You can. John McAllen will be here. Are we
Okay,
live?
I'll let somebody sit over there.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. It's now 6:01 on Monday, March 9th, 2026. We are in room 27 of the Wareham Town Hall. This meeting is being recorded by Wareham TV. And at this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Heidi Churchill,
Here.
Bernie Pigeon,
Here,
Brianna King,
Here.
and Jody Smith. At this time, can I ask everybody to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And when we're done, could you please remain standing for a moment? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bernie?
just like to take a moment to remember our member, Jerry Stefanski. He was a friend and a good valued member of this committee. Always available, always had a good thing to say about people and others. And as a friend and as a member of the committee, he will be sorely missed. He is not passed away, his wife has passed away. And so we're remembering him in that fashion. So remember him in your prayers if you may, and his wife, Deborah. Thank you.
All right, we have a copy of minutes from February 12th. Everybody's had a chance to look at them. Has anybody got any corrections?
No, motion to accept?
Second.
Okay, roll call vote. Brianna,
Yes.
Heidi,
Yes.
Bernie,
Yes.
Joey, myself, yes. Okay, at this time, I'm taking one of these out of order. We're gonna do the citizens petition, Article 18, the plastic bag reduction. So if you could please identify yourself and
I'm Joanne Finn, Precinct 3.
explain what you're trying to
Okay.
do.
Is it okay if I just read this? I have it sort of written down. Thank you for having me here. I've lived in Wareham on Little Harbor for 43 years and retired physical therapist from Toby, where I worked for 42 years. And I love Wareham and I'm very pleased with a lot of the things that are going on. Particularly, I'm really proud of the fact that we passed the no nips law. And I didn't think I didn't think it would make a difference, but I can tell you that it really has made a difference because I try to walk from my house to Little Harbor every day and I pick up trash and with my dog in a pet stroller, and I really have noticed a wonderful difference. And I'm proud of Wareham. I think we were only one of 13 places that I don't know what it is now, but that did respond to that. So I'm just reading, I don't have to say any more about that, but when I do my walk, I do notice a lot of waste, and one thing in particular are the plastic bags, which I've been very interested in trying to see what we could do about that. So I'm also involved with the Good and Green Committee at my church, the Episcopal Church of the Good Shepherd. And for 3 years, we've been working together on reducing, reusing, and recycling in our church community and beyond. And you may have seen some of us wearing our Good and Green Team vests as we collect trash during our participation in the annual Don't Trash Wareham Cleanup Days, hosting a table at the Wise Earth Day event and more. So because of my love for this town and keeping it beautiful, I wanted us to address another big waste issue, single-use plastic bags. As of May 2025, 163 Massachusetts cities and towns have banned single-use plastic shopping bags. That's almost 50% of the 351 towns and cities, which actually represents over 70% of the Commonwealth's population, because a lot of the towns that have passed it are highly populated. Bans are present in all 14 counties, And Massachusetts has more local bans than any other state except California. So I thought that was pretty good. Some communities such as Brookline, Northampton, and Yarmouth are also banning polyethylene product bags. Local bans typically define what constitutes a sustainable option, such as paper bags with recycled and/or recyclable content. The rules and enforcement of these local bans vary by municipality. Plastics are harmful to wildlife and degrade the environment. The bags are manufactured using fossil fuels and can persist in the environment for centuries. Reducing the use of these plastic bags will drastically cut down on the amount of waste on our roadways and in our waterways and in our landfills. And there is no systemic way to recover plastics once they enter lakes, oceans, and other waterways. People don't want to pollute or litter, and they want to do the right thing, but we need policies and tools to make it easier to do so. The first step towards change is raising awareness and start to change the culture in the minds of both the retailers and the consumers. Residents understandably have concerns about the impact of these measures on their daily life. That's something that I'm saying, but I don't have any concerns about that. Anyway, this change will not affect trash bags, newspaper bags, dry cleaning bags, etc. So we will still have ways to dispose of garbage and pet waste. There should be very little increased cost to consumers other than the one-time cost for purchasing reusable bags. Stores can provide paper bags or free boxes for consumers who forget their reusable bags. I go to Stop and Shop and Aldi, and I bring my tote bags in, and I know Stop and Shop, they both don't have plastic bags. And Stop and Shop initially charged for the paper bags, but they don't anymore, so that's good. So we can create a generational shift in the way we think about harmful materials, the long-term benefits of which should far outweigh any minor inconvenience. Wareham has the opportunity to join with 2/3 of the population of our Commonwealth and become a part of the solution, as so many of our neighboring towns, including Bourne, Fairhaven, Plymouth, Falmouth, and Sandwich, have done. I can't imagine why we wouldn't want to make the change to keep Wareham beautiful. Thank you, and also thank you to the Finance Committee for your service to our town. Thank you.
Any questions?
I feel like
none.
I'm random.
Hold on. We have some questions coming.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
There has been some large big box stores that have converted over. Lowe's now does paper, Shaw's now gives you the alternative paper or plastic at each station. I can remember doing the paper because my first job after high school was cashier in a supermarket, and I started training as a bagger. And I don't find any problem with converting over to paper. I have a ton of plastic bags, and yes, getting rid of them every weekend or so after you're shopping. You can certainly accumulate them, but the ability to dispose of the paper is much easier. It goes into recycling.
I didn't realize until I got involved in this that the bins, like when you go into Stop and Shop to the right, are bins for all the plastic. So I just would always put it in my trash, but now I have a bag that I put all the plastic, like my Boston Globe comes in the sleeve, plastic sleeve, and any plastics. And so that was something I just learned. I didn't realize that you could do that, but the other thing we talk about too is like Stop and Shop does this in Wareham. They've already stopped doing it. And I don't know about all the other Stop and Shops, but I would think that a retailer, if they did it in one place, you would like to think that they would
It's
do it
more
in all.
cost effective for them
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Corinne?
This is
Thank you.
Amanda.
Sorry,
please.
I'm backing up Joanne, and I apologize for being a little bit late, had an appointment in Newton. Anyway, I am a volunteer and also a committee member for the recycling committee, volunteer at the recycling center, and I can tell you unequivocally anyway,
You know what
without-
you mean.
Yeah.
without any doubt that plastic bags are one of the biggest trash items that actually get mixed up in the recycling and they wreak havoc in the recycling machines. So at the recycling center, we have an initiative that is put on by Trex, the deck people, and we send them thousands of pounds of, you can imagine how many thousands of pounds, how many bags go into 1,000 pounds. And we get, or have up until recently, get Trex benches for all the plastic bags that we weigh and submit the poundage and then drop off at a drop-off location, which actually is one of the big box stores. But yeah, I'll just say that I think that people will get along very, very well without the thousands of plastic bags that we generate. And I was in Walmart, even the self-checkout places now, they put one item in every plastic bag. And partly because the plastic bags are not,
As durable.
they're crappy, they break. But even in the self-checkout now, I notice everybody's putting one item in one plastic bag, and it's very discouraging. So I'm here to support the notion, and at the recycling center, we'll do whatever we can. We are looking into possibly getting a grant for printing our own reusable plastic bags, similar to the Shaws and Stop and Shop, but being able to give them out or just for a very, very low cost, not 99 cents or $1.99.
You mean the totes?
The yeah, plastic reusable shopping bags. So anyway.
Any questions?
Just one, is Trex made out of plastic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't ask me the specific, polymers or whatever,
Yeah.
but yes, the plastic bags get turned into Trex somehow.
Interesting.
I think it's by magic.
Brianna, do you have any questions?
Nope, thank you.
If I may, in your research, perchance have you ever run across what a single plastic bag actually costs?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder if Hillary might know something like
Yeah.
that. That'd be a good one to look up.
We can get back to you.
It's
It's,
purely trivia.
yeah, it's less than paper, but it's
I would
not,
expect, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out
Yeah, if you do.
somehow.
Wonder if I
Appreciate it.
could
Thank you.
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been tried before in Wareham, hasn't it?
Oh, I didn't know
Yes.
that. Really?
Yes.
When was that? What year was that?
2019 or
Oh,
maybe
I don't remember
18.
that.
Yeah, it was
And
right
it-
after I moved down here.
And
Oh.
it didn't gather any momentum, but we're ready to, I think the time is ripe.
Well, I was gonna say,
I'm
did you kind of
hoping.
learn from your mistakes, for lack of a better,
Yeah.
when you make your presentation? That's all I would add to
Yeah.
it, because I don't think it's a bad idea.
Well,
But-
we weren't involved in that initiative originally, and I'm not quite sure why it failed. I think it just sort of died on the vine, but we're very motivated to do whatever it takes to get it to pass.
Did you get that picture of the plastic bags in the
I
trees?
haven't done that yet, but the plastic bag trees come into bloom right about now
Yeah.
along
When the
the
snow
highway.
melts
Yeah.
Snow
and they
melts,
blow
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Right. If nothing else, well, thank
I
you for,
can-
oh,
can I
I'm
ask
sorry.
more?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Heidi.
How are all the establishments that would need to know about this new regulation if it passes? How will they be notified?
That's a good question. If it passes, it's gonna become a bylaw. Correct. And
Same as the nips, I would think. Similar.
and then I don't know what the mechanism is that gets that information to all the stores. But several stores have told us, or not me, but Hillary, that they just do what the town says they need to do. So in one town, they'll do this, and in another town, if the town says, oh, you can't use plastic, okay, fine, we'll switch to paper. They don't really object to it per se.
I
so-
guess my question is, who from the town is gonna tell them?
We would have to hear May I?
Yes.
We
Absolutely.
would have to hear from the Attorney General that it has been accepted, and then we would send out, we would probably put it on the town website, we'd probably go to WCTV, we'd probably go to the paper and say, okay, and you guys have been knocking on doors anyway, so it'll get around. And there'll be people, just like when the NIP thing was
Yeah,
going on, the people who were violently opposed to it
Yeah.
knew that it had, that it came to pass, so there was, they'll know about it.
And I don't think any of the big stores in town will have a problem with it.
I don't think so either, it's gonna be the little guys.
It's gonna be the little guys. That's why I said the big stores in town, you
A
know?
think-
lot of the little guys are already, I'm thinking of the gift shops in Onset and so forth.
Yeah, because they use
have-
their own little,
Yeah, they have their
groovy
logo,
bags.
they
Yeah.
stamp their logo on
Yeah.
a paper bag
Yep.
and there you go.
Yeah.
So, there will be pushback, but,
I don't think there'll be, I personally don't think there'll be a lot, but who knows?
I like it when they ask me at the store, do you need a bag? And I say no. Well, unless I have too many things, but I mean, it's something that we all need to kind of get used to. We don't need a bag. When I was in Paris in September, and every day I went with my friend who lives there, who's French, and they shop every day. And she had her little wheeling thing. There are no bags, none. They just put everything, they wrap it in the paper and they put it in this little thing that they move along. And I realized there are no bags over there, so.
just a
Something else?
couple of, a suggestion. On, you said residents, blah, 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 dry cleaning bags, et cetera. Not et cetera, be specific,
Be specific, okay.
because
Hmm.
people are gonna wanna know what et cetera means, that you've left yourself a question.
Can you just say it's just the plastic bags that are the retail plastic bags?
Well, no, because I think it's, trash bags, newspaper bags, dry cleaning bags, the poop bags,
Yeah,
so the things that it's not going to impact,
right.
okay?
Mhm.
Because you're gonna get asked that.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna ask you about who's going to enforce this, and the answer is the town is not going to.
Mhm.
So it'll be, Derek has told me that right up front.
Yeah.
Great idea, but we're not gonna be writing tickets or, shutting people down, so I just want you to understand that.
What does that mean? I'm not sure I know what that means.
Well, it's kind of like the NIPS. We didn't go around and check.
It's like not using your phone in the car. When was the last time you heard a person get a
Right.
ticket for that?
Exactly,
Mm.
so
You know,
well, so if it
If you're coming
increases
with
it
license-
by
by 50% or whatever the
50%,
percent
it's
is, yeah.
still something, and then
Yeah.
if we can figure out a workable mechanism to not enforce, but
Well, if you
um,
see it, you could say something.
Mm.
It makes me think of, I never realized until I read in the Globe that it is a $500 fine to idle your car for more than 5 minutes.
Yes,
I didn't know that, and I think, well, who enforces that?
nobody.
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 But
Judy,
mean-
wouldn't that fall more under licensing?
Well, we
You
don't
know,
license any, the select board doesn't license. Oh, the other question was, somebody said, does this, I'll get back to you. The white plasticky things that you get your hamburger to go? Or,
no,
yeah, does it affect that? And the answer is no, so you need to address that in your blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bernie, try it again.
And she was asking about enforcement.
Oh, okay,
But the
so
only opportunity you have would be the licensing renewals.
we don't, no,
You don't typically do that, I know, but I
No.
mean, that would be the only avenue.
no, because we don't license Lowe's except for a used equipment, and Home Depot, because they sell used equipment, and it's,
Yeah.
we don't have anything to do with,
Oh, but it's like the NIPS too, that's it,
we
That's
don't have
something you
anything to
go
do
and write a
with the
ticket
grocery
for.
stores.
but they all apply for it, they all follow the new regulations. And you didn't have to go out and enforce, you just posted it.
Right, So I don't think the enforcement's gonna be a big issue, but I just,
Just educating them.
yeah. And one of the suggestions I would make is you, after it passes, you do some show and tell in the grade schools.
Yeah.
Because that works wonders. They go home and they tell mom or dad or the grandparents, oh, we had this lady come in today, you know, and get them involved.
Yeah.
And then they're the,
We've talked about that at our at the Good and Green Committee,
Yeah.
same thing, get the kids.
I
yeah,
would never
Yeah.
have thought of that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's a
kids.
lot of, yeah, we can pair it up with a bunch of other things. I mean, it's not gonna be Earth Days too early, but other things that, like, part of the recycling committee's mission
are you?
is education. We get, you know, grants based
Yeah.
on going into the schools and doing dog and pony shows with,
Yeah.
you know, recycling and so forth. So that shouldn't be a problem. I do think that once people get used to the idea that it's not nearly as painful as it's gonna, you know,
It's not
there's
gonna
gonna
be
be a
painful
lot
at
of
all.
complaints.
I don't remember even noticing at Stop and Shop when they stopped. I mean, cause I like to bring my own tote bags in. And I always buy too much and they're in the car, so, but I
do the
really,
same.
I don't remember, you know, thinking like, I remember years ago, the Christmas tree shops on the Cape stopped using plastic bags, and I remember that, and it didn't bother me at all. And I'm not sure I was aware of maybe why they were doing it at the time. I don't know how old I was, but anyway.
I think my personal opinion is a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But-
All right, very good. Thank you for being here.
thank you for having.
Good luck with the selectmen next week.
Well, yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna hear the same thing, the same old,
Don't
but
do
maybe
this.
I'll make it,
Yeah.
I'll add the things that she said.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have another, yeah, you'll be able to practice next Tuesday.
I know, I'm gonna miss my Lenten series meeting, oh well. I'll have to pray about that. Okay, so can we go now?
You may go.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thank you for
Well, you're more
having
than
us.
welcome to stay if
Thank
you'd
you.
like to
Oh,
listen.
gee,
That's
well.
okay, I'll see you at town meeting. And I'll be more cognizant of what it's all, you know, when you say we voted 5-1-1 or whatever it is, I realize, yeah, you had to meet to do that.
Just an
1, 2, 3,
FYI,
4, 5.
There's one on,
6:30, I'm
there's one
sorry,
up here.
Jody,
on the-
6. I thought it was
6.
6:30.
600,
Six, doesn't
6,
Yeah, it says 6.
whatever it is.
I did not work at 6, okay.
Okay.
Please let the record show that Mr. Camerino showed at 6:20.
No, you missed a good presentation.
I thought it was 6:30, not 6. I don't get out of work till 6.
Would Mrs. Slavin like to step up?
Gee, I know who has pool around here.
Thank you. Good evening. Before I start, I collect my plastic bags. And it's for my bread and my popsicles and all those plastic bags. And I take them to the recycle bin, the town recycle bin, and they have a place to put all your plastic bags. So it isn't just grocery bags. So it's the plastic bags that the bread comes in and everything else. So it's amazing how much you accumulate. But it is a place to, we tried a year ago, quite a few years ago to try, and we were told that the state was going to do something, so we backed away. But that, never mind, I'm here for what? What do you want?
Article 12, Community Preservation Fund Reserves.
Okay, so I'm here to talk about CPC, Community Preservation. I am the treasurer of CPC, so talk to, which article would you like to discuss first?
Reserves.
This is the standard 10% set aside for each one of our reserves, being it affordable housing, open space, and open space, historical preservation. So it's a standard, and last year we did, I estimated 1.5 million. We got a little less from the state, but a little bit more from the town, so it evens out. So I still went again with a 1.5 estimated revenue, which means 150,000 into each of the 10% reserves and 75,000 into the admin reserve.
And
It's
they have your explanation too.
Well, we must do it, so
Yeah,
it,
no, what I'm saying
oh.
is they also have your explanation.
okay. I mean, but this is standard, we've been doing it since 2002, so this is not new. Okay,
Can you change the percentages, for example, say historical, and let me give it 5% and give 15% to affordable?
no,
So
it's
that's
state requires
state
10,
way. Okay.
minimum of 10%.
10%.
We can put more into it, into the reserves, but we can't put less into it. So we have no choice but to, minimum is 10% and 5% for admin. We can make it 15% or 20%, but whatever we don't reserve, it becomes what is referred to as unallocated. Use it for anything. So we have a project that we may not have enough money in the reserve, we can always use it in the unallocated funds to pay for something. But once it's in a reserve, it can't be used anything other than
What's
that
there?
is designated to be done. We have no flipping in on it, it's there. Okay,
Bernie, any questions?
No, very good. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Heidi?
Is the land, the affordable housing, the affordable land, are they asking for any money?
Affordable Housing Trust.
Yes.
not this time.
Okay.
Dominic, any questions?
So there's
No,
there's no article asking for additional money for Affordable Housing Trust. There is
Okay.
no article.
Dominic?
I'm all set, thank you, Jerry.
Brianna? Brianna, any questions?
I think it says you're unmuted, no?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Unmute yourself?
Brianna, any questions?
Now ask.
Brianna, any questions? We lost Brianna.
She'll come
All
back.
right, thank you. Article 13.
I'm
That's
sorry,
Cranberry
I
Manor.
don't have a,
Neighbor Works,
sorry?
Neighbor Works.
Cranberry
It's
Manor.
Cranberry Manor.
Oh,
Sorry.
thank you. I don't have an article number on here, so
Oh.
just tell me it's a Cranberry Manor?
Oh, sorry, all
Yeah,
right, Cranberry
phase
Manor,
two.
yeah.
Yeah, they're looking, phase 2, they own the property. Thank you. They own the property and they're looking at putting a building on it that will be 3 stories, 41 bedroom units for senior 62 and older residents on it. They have a project of about $25 million and they're looking for $300,000 from CPC. I mean, to me, this is just like all the other housing projects that come on. It is a indication of support of the community for the project. It's never intended to pay for the whole thing or anyway, it's just a, hey, we're here, we support it, and this is how we're gonna put some money into it. But certainly not enough to pay for the whole project, just an indication that we approve, we support the project.
Dominic?
But it's a project for profit.
Yes. I don't,
You know how I feel about that.
I know.
I don't believe that our tax money should go to someone making a profit. It just, give it to me. I'll build whatever you want. It's it's a pet peeve of mine, and I think it's wrong. I think that even though town votes on it and the people vote with their money, I don't think that CPC should be giving money to projects where the place is making a profit. All you're doing is adding to their profit. You might not think you are, you might think it goes to whatever it goes to. Bottom line is, when you do the numbers, they're making a profit. Part of the money you're giving them is gonna be a profit, whether it's 1%, 2%, 5%.
and
I
yes,
said my
That
piece.
has been-
It's wrong.
that has been the stand of this town for years and years and years.
No, we never,
Now-
we,
oh,
only,
whoop, whoop.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, I
yeah.
apologize.
There has been a point of only doing affordable housing for those for nonprofit. Then a few years ago, we approved a project for 801 Main Street. That's the very first time CPA funds were used for a for-profit entity. And
Mhm.
since then, we've done several others, including what has been done for the one off of Littleton Drive. Well spent for that project. Look what that has turned into. So
Okay.
it's not, I know, Dominic, this has
No,
been
I'm
a
gonna say
stand,
something when you're done. Go
this has
ahead.
been a stand for quite a few years, and we broke with tradition for 801 Main Street, and this is just another indication that we can't find affordable housing projects that are for nonprofit.
Okay.
So we have to, in order to do some assistance to give us some housing for our affordable, of course, nothing is affordable because we're in the Boston market, but that's another topic. So that's what this is, just an attempt to do some more 40 units for seniors.
And they allow pets.
Yeah, I'm not saying the project isn't worthy for the town. Okay, but if you're doing a project for profit, you shouldn't ask for nonprofit money. I have another question. Now, you know how I felt about 801 Main. I went back and I looked at the profit and loss sheet for 801 Main. What do you think the guy did on 801 Main?
Let's stay on.
No, this has got to do with the same project. She's saying that, I'm saying that they shouldn't give money for profit. The guy in 801 Main Street made a fortune,
Well,
a fortune.
Dominic, I don't know that, but my
Look at
recommendation,
look
and you
at the
can,
numbers.
my recommendation is to have your voice heard at town meeting and try to convince the public that this is not a good use of 300,000.
It's probably a good use, but the gentleman shouldn't be making a profit, should be a non-profit organization, whatever, let it go. The guy on Main Street made a small fortune and you gave him money, the town gave him money, not you, I apologize. The town gave him money to make more of a profit, period, the end.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Bernie?
No, I'm fine. I agree with Dominic on the one level. However, several years ago, we actually looked into this a little further and found there's no money for the alternative. There's no one that has the money.
Bernie? What do you mean, no money?
They've got to front their own money.
Excuse me? I didn't
They have
hear
to
you.
front, the town or the state does not have the money to provide for this, to subsidize this kind of construction.
What are you gonna subsidize a guy making a living?
All right,
No, I mean, I'm not referencing anything private. The town, excuse me. The town as an entity could build these projects, but there's no financing for the town to do that. And that's the difference.
There are a million nonprofit organizations that could get money that would build. You don't have to go to someone making a profit. And I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, I said what I was gonna say.
anything else?
No, that'll be all. Thank you.
Heidi?
Just a question, what are the two deed restrictions? One's in perpetuity and one is multi-year?
I had requested, this had originally been written for 49 year, and then I had put a request in that it be done for discussion with the select board with Judy that we changed it to something else, but then I got a note from Jim Muniz from Affordable Housing Trust, and his recommendation is that the article read for affordable housing restriction in perpetuity. So they can never use the land or the building for anything other than affordable housing. So I thought that was
Yeah,
changed.
it was changed.
Okay,
No, excuse me, is that what?
forever,
That, okay.
forever,
I was gonna thank you.
forever and ever. Amen.
Okay.
Brianna, any questions?
Earth to be honest.
All right, I think I've heard enough, and I agree with Dominic on some things, but that's the way. Okay, next article.
Can I just make a comment?
Absolutely.
Thank you. The select board loves this idea, and the Affordable Housing Trust also loves this idea. To get 40 units for seniors, that it's in a central location, it's near the courthouse, it's on, the road. And it's a well-run company, we've, checked them out. 40 units and seniors, and they can bring their pets. We don't have that here, and we don't have senior housing. So I hear you.
It's great. This guy though is gonna make more than $300,000 profit.
Well,
So you're giving him money on top of his profit. It's great for the seniors, it's great for the town, it's great for everything. He'll make quadruple 300,000. So why give him the money? He doesn't need it.
He needs it to get the state support and the federal support and all of the financing report. You get the
I-
stacks of financing
I
by
understand all
proving
that.
that you have the community support.
Have him give it back. Out of his, if he makes more than that profit, have him give it back. He won't.
Well, I do not know what neighborhood works housing solution.
They're the Section 8 company.
I know, but you can't compare it with what 801 did to what this company does,
They're all
so,
profit, they're
well-
all for profit.
Okay, get the point.
I think this outfit became before us 4 or 5 years ago, permitting to use the property in back of the,
That's exactly what it is.
yeah.
All right, Article 14, Beaver Dam Creek Conservation Project.
yes.
Give me 1 second, Sandy, just for the record. Mr. Slave, member Slavin just showed up at 6:35.
I didn't see you walk by me.
He's so light on his feet.
I wasn't very light at the
Thank you.
planning board meeting.
Go right ahead now.
Yes, the Beaver Dam Creek Conservation Project is looking for the Buzzards Bay Coalition is looking for, Buzzards Bay Coalition, yeah, is looking for 700,000 for these almost 98 acres of Wareham that is right now, most of them's cranberry bogs, to develop that into conservation land, eventually taking the bogs out of production. It may take 5 years, but the bogs would be out of production, which means we'll have all that less nitrogen that we'd be putting into our waters, et cetera. Now, if you go down Route 6 toward Marion, just after the Chinese restaurant and the gas station there, those bogs on both sides of Route 6, that's this project. So
Both
you-
sides?
Both sides. So if you see on the, going to Marion on the left, there's several bogs there, which they recently redid. If right, you see some more bogs, and you keep looking way up the right, you'll see some uplands from trees and stuff like that. So that's part of the project too. So it's 98 acres that will be taken out of cranberry production eventually, and there will be another project from them to convert it into natural land, wetlands. Let the water flow on its own and that type of thing. So this is to me, a great project that we can use to help with our nitrogen loading. But that's Buzzards Bay Coalition. There would be a conservation restriction based on it. There'll be limited, it's what they can do would be done trails, and eventually we'll see a plan to restore the wetlands over where the bogs are now. Boy, that didn't come out well. I'll try again. But it's a great project. So-
Mr. Mann,
It-
David Mann.
So of the 700,000, the project's gonna be just over $1 million, and they're looking 700,000 from CPC.
Just answered my question.
Because this is active farmland, it's a low tax rate anyway, so it's not gonna be a significant loss to the tax base.
And it's something that probably would not be put into production for development, for housing or anything else like that.
Probably not, although it's the access to main roadway, obviously.
So it
But
really, this comes up through Route 6, and then if you go down Hathaway Road, and
Comes up there
you'll
too.
see it on the right side as you go up to Hathaway Road away from town. You'll see it where the other bogs, you can see the other end of the project. I mean,
It's a big piece of property.
big piece of property, 98 acres.
Already cleared and everything too.
There is an upland that will stay upland. There will be trails placed in it, but that will be another project down the line.
Yes.
Ellen?
We've conserved a tremendous amount of land in the town of Wareham over the last 15, 20 years. Wareham, when you conserve land, you also restrict the potential growth commercially, residential, et cetera. We just did a project for the land trust. I won't get into it, but there was issues there. My issue here is if there is developable land, should it be broken out and left for the town and let them do the stuff that actually would not be developed or is not developable? Because there is developable land there. And what kind of access is the average person in Wareham gonna have to use it? We have a lot of areas where we've done, conservation restrictions of the land, and you can't really get to it unless you live right by it or something. I just think we've got to a point in time where we really ask the question, is there land that Wareham should be available on a commercial basis for development? I know it's a hard question to ask, and it's not easy for me since I'm obviously we're members of Buzzards Bay, coalition as well. But I have issues.
Part of this, there is upland and it's forested and it's up by the Blackmore Reservoir. There is no access to that land off of the highway except for one little piece off of Hathaway. But once you do Hathaway, you can't get to the upper land because you have to go over water, which means bridges and stuff like that, and I don't see it, but it is pretty much landlocked where it is forested.
Just have them, present everything, lay it out with a real map, not like the last time.
They all have a map.
You need to provide us
I
everything.
have a map.
Yeah.
Heidi, any questions? Dominic?
I like conservation of land. Better than building for profit.
Had to throw that in.
I did.
Brianna, are you up and running?
Yeah, for some reason I couldn't talk.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I guess my one question was on the senior housing, but you kind of answered it with the neighborhood. They're kind of the ones that would be managing it, I guess.
Yes. As they're already managing the Cranberry Manor that's there now.
Okay, and then will Wareham seniors have priority or anything of that nature?
It's an attempt to try to put in local residents first.
If they qualify.
The same way.
The same, I mean, they all have to qualify.
Alrighty, thank you.
I have no questions, and I agree with Dominic on both things. I think conservation land, I love seeing the town own it.
I think it's a great attempt to try to bring all that bog out of production, out of fertilizer to reduce our nitrogen footprint. It's critical.
I think personally, you're gonna see a lot of bogs in the Wareham region Carver disappear because they're no longer financially feasible. And once the Chinese, which are working on doing their own, that's the end of the ballgame.
Because a couple town meetings ago, Buzzards Bay Coalition got CPA funds to do a Weweantic River conservation site through us and Carver, hundreds of acres, and includes bogs and stuff like that that's
The
being worked
largest
on.
one, yeah.
Huh?
Slocum Gibbs.
Yes,
Yep.
I never remember the full names, but yes, that's another attempt to try to reduce the footprint of the cranberry bog.
Anything else? Okay, moving on. You gonna do Article 17? Dissolve minus forest
Yes.
committee?
Before I do that, I just, as a heads up, CPA funds, 121,200 of it will be used in the town town budget to pay for the principal and interest on Little Harbor. So it will be part of Derek's budget. I just wanted to let you know that I'm aware of it and I've accounted for it in our funds, okay? Now, next one is,
Dissolve minus forest
Yep.
committee.
I have to put that other hat on. Wait a minute. That's sewer, no, here is, okay. Now, back in 1951, Article 40 of the town meeting, spring town meeting, special town meeting, accepted the land from William Minot to form the Minot Forest, accepted it by the town. And Article 40 was the one that attempted to form a committee to oversee, administering the land's rights and privileges and to discharge the obligation thereunder acquired by gift deeded to us by Article 39 to appoint and determine the method of appointing personnel for the purpose of raise and appropriate, anyway, it formed Minot Forest Committee to oversee the Minot Forest, which is just about 200 acres now. At that time, we were active, it was going, it's been a long time, and what we found that we had a committee of 5. We were working very hard with Gary Buckminster and the Natural Resources to put in that parking lot by the corner of Indian Nick and Stillman Drive, and opened up a lot of the trails. We had 3 trails permanently named for 3 prior members of the Minot Forest Committee. Don Hull, of course, I'm going to Marge Teitelbaum and okay,
Billy Minot.
and no,
And Campbell.
and
Oh,
Campbell.
And Campbell.
And so we have kiosks that have been built to help with people to enjoy the forest. But as a committee of 5, we were down to 3. We need more than 3 people because we want the different opinions and stuff like that. More people can offer to a committee. And we were not getting a quorum. So we weren't doing what we should do for it. And thinking about it as the Minot Forest Committee, we thought about it, why not transfer that responsibility of that open space being Minot Forest over to the Open Space Committee? They're supposed to have 5 members, they currently have 4, working on the open space plan for 10-year open space plan. Anyway, it became a logical move to take that responsibility and pass it over to open space and have them help manage the forest, working with Gary Buckminster and the municipal maintenance and things like that. So since it was formed at town meeting, it has to be dissolved at town meeting, and that's why this article here isn't going to town meeting.
Makes sense.
And it's, I'm submitting it as the chair of open space and the chair of Minot Forest.
Bernie, any questions?
No questions. I think it's,
Alan?
Just because of history going back a lot of things, is there any kind of reverter clause or anything at all when the Minot family gave the property to the town of Wareham that we're required to do or anything else? Remember the Hammond School, there was an issue with, there's certain properties, when you get something, if you don't follow the rules of what they give you, you could lose it or
I
whatever.
did not see anything in Article 1951, Article 39 on acceptance of the land, or in Article 40, the creation of this particular committee, other than they were having $500 a year, and of course that stopped a long time ago. I didn't see anything here, but if we formally indicate that that responsibility is passed to open space, I think that covers anything that might have a revert back to.
I would ask if you would request through the Board of Selectmen chair, have the town council just make sure. Because we had the issue with, Merchants Way, where we thought we owned all that property and stuff. When I went in to do work on that, it turned out that 1954, when the New Haven Railroad gave it to us, we were required to keep a certain amount of property for that many times. I just want to make sure.
The only question that I have is the statute for state forests is different from the open space
Yes.
charge, if you will, and I'm letting you know.
Could very well, if they feel that the open space committee doesn't have what is required to manage a town forest,
Yeah.
that we expand the role of the open space once we realize what more requirement would be needed.
One more question. Can we give it to the Natural Resources Department? Let them handle it?
No,
No? Okay, thank you.
I mean, I can't speak for Derek, but no. Why would you?
Their natural resources does the work. We work very much with Mr. Buckminster. We make the trails are free and clear and not hazards, and he goes through and widens them and et cetera. So we work very closely with natural resources.
That's why I'm suggesting.
But they but we indicate what we would like to have done. Like the project we have working on right now is that we have a kiosk at 2 of the 3 main entrances into the forest. we've asked that a kiosk be built behind the Minot Elementary School, which is the third entrance into the Minot Forest. So that is one of the things that we have some CPA funds that will be used to create that kiosk, to show people what the map is and where the trails go and things like that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions?
No.
Dominic?
Nope, all set.
Brianna?
Nope, all set.
Said, thank you.
Okay,
Am I sleeping in the garage tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't speak on yours.
I'll speak a little bit if you want.
all right. Anything else? I guess I'll see you when we talk about special spring articles. Right?
Uh-huh.
I'll be back for special spring articles.
So, Article 19, citizens petition, zoning bylaw change, section 950, off-site parking.
Yeah, there's a section that we went into that still is in place there, and there's just an addition to that. We are slowly, in certain areas of town, we're growing with like retail businesses, restaurants, et cetera. Most downtown areas like we have in Onset or in Main Street, Wareham, have no parking of their own that they have control over. It's all public. City of Boston has many of their areas in which the same situation is. They I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 years ago, made major changes and actually listed areas where public parking would count toward capacity for the actual business, for seating. All I'm trying to do here is say, okay, say like Dominic, where you have your pawn shop. Say you want to open up a restaurant instead, and you want to have room for 100 people. You have no parking for it technically. This would allow you to take from that building 3/8 of a mile circle, and anything that's public parking would count toward your
That makes sense.
and, well, it doesn't, because it opens up for a few things that people can do this, do that. I'm just trying to do what I did with like the miniature bylaw that we passed, that I put in to get rid of the trash and other things, the no quorum, et cetera. I think it will help town because we have at least 2 more restaurants planning to open up on Main Street in Wareham. There's another restaurant gonna open up in Onset, just on where the Cape Cod Lobster Roll was. So I'm just trying to find a way to help business. Restaurant businesses in particular are extremely fragile. They based on having enough people to come into the facility. If your capacity is below your break-even point, you're out of business.
Right.
That's the basic idea of it. I'm not trying to do anything except trying to make things better. It's a pro-business article, there's no question.
Question. In that article, I didn't read it, I apologize. Does it say like a certain percentage could be used? In other words, let's say,
No,
excuse me, in other words, if you need 50 spots, you have to have like at least a third on your own and then the rest can be public. So this could be 100% public?
well, just
That
think
could be
about it.
tough.
No, not really, because just think about it for a minute. Tell me where the
In the North End, they do it all the time.
but tell me where in Wareham, let's say on Main Street,
Yeah,
who has any parking of their own that they control?
maybe a couple, that's it, yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, you're right.
The only one that has it is I think the new Rewind that's coming in.
He has some in
And Mr.
front,
Warren's
yeah.
down there has it. All the other restaurants on Main Street have 0.
Okay,
I just think it's something that's helpful to the town.
nope,
I'm sure we'll have people that will say, well, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Any of these bylaws that we put in, if they're not working right, we go back and we fix them. When I did the sign bylaw, we went back twice to make changes.
Randy, any questions?
Yes, to the petitioner.
Ugh, excuse me.
Be careful.
In the case you mentioned, hypothetically, like Dominic's place of business,
Yeah.
and you're counting the spaces, public spaces that he may be required. Now, next door to Dominic is the pizza place.
Same problem.
You have the same problem, yes. But now with Dominic's, you're counting public spaces for his space. Now with the pizza, you're also counting the same.
Spaces.
Okay, just want to be clear.
The problem we have is that the town of Wareham basically designates what's public
I read this.
parking spaces.
Mhm.
So that's, the town of Wareham cannot say, like, this particular area here is public parking for this particular business. It's public parking. That's the way it's legally written, et cetera. We don't have control over that.
Well, in my case, I agree. I don't have a problem with the fact you're counting spaces, public spaces, or counting them even twice. That's not, there are tons of communities around here that have rows of retail establishments with no parking or minimal parking at best.
Yeah.
They all survive.
They all survived to a point. New Bedford just recently actually passed something just like this also, for the same reason. Because they're not all surviving these days anymore.
Agreed. You have to make do with what you have.
But we're trying to make it better.
Indeed, I agree with you. I don't think it's an issue at all. It's unfair to the
No, but
establishments.
Bernie, excuse me, brought up an important point. You have 4 restaurants competing with 30 public spots. If they're all using the same spots, there's still gonna be an influx of too many vehicles. That,
I'll give you an example.
it could be,
though.
I could, you know, that's all I'm thinking.
They did a study, I think you can check with Josh and planning. Wareham downtown Main Street has an excess of public parking right now. So even though you say they're competing with each other, there's enough parking there. The problem is they can't count it.
No, makes sense. I'm not against it. I'm just trying to bring up a fact that
It might actually force the town somewhere down the line to build a parking lot, or like a parking garage.
okay, thank you.
Brianna, any questions?
We can always use CPC money for profit.
She won't give me any.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Do you have anything you want to say about capital planning? Have you?
Yeah, I just want to apologize. I really did not want to do a citizens petition article. I personally think, as a finance committee member, it's not the right thing to do. But I just felt that I had talked about this, I thought planning was gonna bring this forward, and they kind of didn't have time, whatever, so I went ahead and did it.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal, but I don't like it,
Okay.
just so you know. Capital planning, we're waiting to sit down with Derek with the department heads. We actually keep our capital planning, accurate, really with, right up to the last date. All the departments, all the way down. Anytime at all, can send a note into us, send us a form saying they'd like to add this to their capital needs. Your budget for this coming year for Derek has a capital account in almost every department now, because we drastically changed the triggers for what is capital and what isn't. We have not yet put in, the existing plan as a Searles Town website with a little asterisk saying this is no longer actually part of the capital plan, it's separate. And that's one of the big changes. We'll try and do something at town meeting to show it so the public understands.
All right. Article 15, delivery of town meeting warrant. Mrs. Whiteside?
That is in here because the charter and the bylaws don't say the same thing. So the charter rules, and we need to fix the bylaw by getting rid of the reference, which is a 35 days. So that's all that is fixing what,
It's in language.
it's confusing and it's, the charter rules, but people will say, oh, anyway, so that's all that is.
Pretty much bookkeeping.
Okay, yeah, Bernie, you got any questions?
None, thank you.
That was something that we did with the Charter Review Committee way back in 2009. There was so much confusion and conflict. I think we fixed that at least 2 or 3 times and still never got it right.
Heidi?
No.
Dominic?
Nope.
Brianna?
Nope.
Present? All right, Article 16.
16, all we are asking is that the town rescind an action that we took in the Springtown meeting, special Springtown meeting. That's all it is,
That's more like correcting a mistake.
correcting mistake, that's all it is.
Language.
Other bookkeeping.
Language, yeah. Bernie, you got any questions on that?
Nope, everything's fine.
Yeah,
Just,
Alan?
just the usual.
Heidi? Dominic?
Nope, what's that?
Brianna?
Nope.
All right, I wasn't sure whether our town administrator was gonna make it or not. I talked to him this morning, but he's got a lot on his plate going on.
Yes, he does.
But I had put an agenda together and I kind of labeled these as basically housekeeping. We see these every year. I mean, if Mrs. Whiteside would want to comment on any of them, they pretty much
5,
self.
yeah, 5 is the reports, and if planning has a report, we simply hear the report. So it's a standard article.
Sorry.
The one about compensating certain elected and appointed officials. Unfortunately, that caused some discussion 2 town meetings ago, 3 or 4 town
4
meetings
years ago too, they tried it.
Yeah, okay. So it was, you know, I mean, I think she gets paid $70 a day or something, you know. And then the election is those members on Article 1, 2 selectmen, 2 school committee, 2 assessors, 2 sewer commissioners, 1 at large, and 1 a user. And the at large person can be either a user or a non-user.
Right.
So that's simply, you know, the election comes on May 5th, which is after this, but it has to go into the warrant. Recurring business, we do this every year. We authorize the treasurer to do what he or she has to do. We authorize the select board and the town administrator to enter into contracts, to go out to bid, to do, you know, to do the business of the town. And then item C is again, expending of money. So those are standard.
And the revolving funds, there's no
Revolving funds.
changes there.
No changes there, we double checked those. What had been in the articles before was who was authorized to spend it, but it doesn't make any difference because,
Right.
okay.
And Article 11 is just,
Yeah,
I
but
do
the
have a question.
reports are,
On the bonds, are there many bonds to be rescinded?
yes, they're right on our, you have it right here,
I'm sorry. Where are they?
page 5. Page 5.
Article 11,
Yep,
yeah.
got it.
And if we have been asked to do this as a housekeeping article to get rid of, you know, we didn't spend it all, we need to
Take it
we
off
need to
the
clean the
books.
books up.
Can't leave it on the books, Dominic.
Right,
Thank you.
okay.
Any questions there, Mr.
I'm
Camerino?
all set now.
Any questions on those? Those are all pretty standard
It's
year in.
housekeeping.
No, it's just a wonder, the article regarding our charter and all that, Judy's been heavily involved in this. It's an enormous article, and it, sometimes you wonder how, some of the conflicts that have come up that we found.
Mammoth
Continue to
business,
find
yeah.
them too.
Hmm?
You continue to find them.
2009,
do.
I had 45 articles at town meeting. No charter.
So does anybody have any other business not reasonably anticipated from 48 hours prior to this meeting? Seeing none. The next meeting will be March 16th, a week from today. Those will be all budgets. I've talked to all the parties involved. I can tell you Upper Cape Tech will be first up. I talked to him today.
He said he couldn't make it.
Yeah, but I persuaded him.
Okay.
Yes, I did talk to Roger.
I wasn't gonna be in the middle. I gave
No,
you
no.
Roger's number and let you deal with it.
Roger said he had talked to Dominic, and I said, that's fine. I had asked Dominic to give him a call. I figured, you know, it was a good thing, and, but he, no, he's gonna be here.
Okay,
And
good.
we're basically gonna go the Upper Cape Tech schools, and
Cause they're having a big thing with that Bourne address thing. Oof,
yes, he is.
that's a
So I don't
nightmare.
see anything else. I'll take a motion to adjourn. So,
Motion to adjourn.
second, all in favor, Bernie,
Aye.
Alan,
Yes.
Heidi, Dominic,
Aye.
Brianna,
Yeah.
Jody, yes. See you next week.
6 or 6:30, boss.
6 o'clock.
All right.
6 o'clock.
I think I've got
I have to
a,
close up early.
No, don't bother me.